Good morning, Fenville families. It's Mrs. Zuru again. Hey, I'm back to read you another chapter or two in Hank Zipzer. Yesterday, Hank got his social studies test back and he got a B on it, and he was super, super duper excited. And he told his reading teacher that the reason he did so well was not because he studied, which he did, but because of his lucky monkey socks. And she thought it was probably because he had less distractions. So let's find out what happens today. As I slid into my seat, Miss Adolph was already writing on the blackboard, listing the Olympiad teams and the event schedule for the next day. Her gray skirt, which she wears every single day to match her gray shirt and her gray shoes and her gray face, was smudged with chalk dust. Excuse me, Miss Adolph, Luke Williams said as he walked up by her. You have chalk poop on your butt. Would you tell your teacher that? You have to give Luke Whitman credit. He is not afraid to say what's on his mind. Everyone laughed at the chalk poop remark, and that made Miss Adolph really mad. She thinks fourth graders laugh too much to begin with, and laughing at her rear end is certainly not okay with her. Quiet, pupils, she said. I see nothing funny about a little chalk dust. You would if you could see your butt, said Luke. It's hilarious. We couldn't help laughing again. I could see red splashes flaring up on Miss Adolph's cheeks, which is a sign that she was steaming mad. She took off her silver key she wears on the lanyard around her neck and unlocked the top drawer of her desk. Picking up her roll book, she wrote a little note next to Luke's name and then took out the hall pass. I think you know where you're going with this, she said to Luke, handing him the hall pass. To the cafeteria for a snack, said Luke. Absolutely not, Miss Adolph said. You just march to Principal Love's office. That's where pupils go who insist on talking about their teacher's hindquarters. As Luke left the room, he looked at me and said, Hey, I'll keep the seat next to me warm for you. I said a secret thank you that this time it wasn't me going to Principal Love's office. Believe me, I've spent plenty of time sitting across from Principal Love, doing mole time, as we call it. That's because Principal Love has this mole on his face that's shaped like the Statue of Liberty without the torch. And when he talks to you, the mole shakes like crazy, and it looks like the Statue of Liberty has ants in her pants. And all you can do is stare at it while you're trying not to stare. These are the final teams for tomorrow's Olympiad, Miss Adolph said, pointing to the blackboard. Half of you have been assigned to the yellow team, and the other half is on the blue team. Check over the list on the board and make sure that you have been assigned to the event you tried out for. I looked at the board. Ashley was listed as the manager of the yellow softball team. Frankie was the member of the team. Katie Paulson, the second most beautiful girl in our class, was on the yellow team too, as was Ryan Shimatsu, who was an awesome athlete. Nick McKelty, the single most obnoxious human, remember the bully, being ever hatched, had been assigned to the blue softball team. At least Frankie and Ashley weren't going to have to play on the same team as Nick the Tick. My name was listed under Triple C competition. I enrolled for that event because at the time it was my only choice. I knew I couldn't play softball, and I certainly wasn't qualified to be on the Brainbuster squad. So that left the Triple C competition as the only event I even had a shot at. I happen to be really good at sharpening all the pencils in my desk, so that they are exactly the same length. I thought that would impress the judges for sure. Ashley stuck her hand up in the air, and Miss Adolph called on her. Yes, Miss Long, she said. I'd like to request a change in teams, Ashley said. As manager of the yellow softball team, I'm requesting that Hank Zipzer be transferred to my team. That's your first mistake, girlfriend, shouted a voice from behind us. I didn't have to look. It was McKelty's voice. He's really loud and always sounds like he's laughing at you, which, by the way, he usually is. I poked Ashley across the aisle. "What are you doing?" I whispered. "Frankie told me about the socks," she whispered back. "This is your lucky chance. So I went ahead and put you on the team." "But Ash, I can't." "Hank, I saw you throw. You're dynamite." Frankie's hand shot up. "As the official catcher of the yellow team, I'd like to second manager Wong's request for Zipzer. We'd like to draft him." "Is that all right with you, Henry?" Miss Adolph asked me. She's the only person in the world who calls me Henry, except for my mother when she's mad. Miss Adolph doesn't believe in nicknames. She thinks they're unnecessary. "Yes, Miss Adolph, it's okay with him," Ashley said before I even had a chance to speak up. "We've already discussed it." "I can't believe you're drafting Zipper Boy," snorted McKelty. "I wouldn't draft him for the toilet squad." That's exactly the kind of thing Nick McKelty says all the time. It's just mean and creepy. A bunch of kids even giggled. That guy was making my blood boil, especially now that he had the class laughing. I looked down at my white socks, and I knew that the Lucky Monkey socks were underneath, just waiting to be used. Why not? What are Lucky socks good for, if not to put jerks like McKelty in their place? "Hey, McKelty," I whispered, "meet me on the athletic field after school. I've got something to show you." "What's that, zipper face?" he snarled, blasting some of his bad breath over my way. "2 words," I said. "Guess what they are?" "Girly throw," he said. I shot him the most confident grin and whispered the 2 words, "secret weapon." Do you think that he's going to tell him about the socks? I hope not, because I don't think he'll ever live that down. Let's find out. At exactly 3 o'clock, Frankie, Ashley, and I were on the athletic field waiting at the baseball diamond that had been set up for the Olympiad. Robert Upchurch was there too, for no particular reason, except that he's always glooms on to us and we can never really shake him. "Robert," Frankie said, "go home." "But I'm on the yellow team too," Robert said. "I have a right to be here." "Yeah, you're in the Triple C competition," Ashley said. "Look around, Robert. This is a baseball diamond." "Actually, it's a softball diamond," said Robert. "A baseball diamond has to meet regulation measurements. Would you like me to tell you what those are? Because I have committed them to memory." "No," we all said at once. "Oh, well, another time maybe," Robert said. He saw Nick McKelty approaching, and he knew this was no time for nerd talk. I gave him credit for shutting his mouth. McKelty came lumbering up, his big feet slapping the pavement like clown shoes. He smiled, not in a friendly way, and I could see his after-school snack hanging from the corners of his mouth. It looked like chocolate pudding or maybe even butterscotch. "Can you hurry up with your little party?" he said. "I've got to get home because my dad is taking me to a private feast at the best Chinese restaurant in Manhattan. In fact, it's the best Chinese restaurant in the world, except for one in China that we're going to this summer." Of course, we all knew none of this was true. Nick's dad, who owns McKelty's Rolling Bowl over in Amsterdam Avenue, was probably buying him a rice bowl at Uncle Ming's chop suey house right next door. But Nick McKelty always had to exaggerate everything. We call it the McKelty factor. Truth times 100. Well, we just thought we'd show you a little sample of our secret weapon, Ashley said. "Be afraid, McKelty. Be very afraid." Ashley gave me the signal. I took the mound. Frankie got behind home plate and squatted down. He held his mitt out in front of him. "Put it in here, Zip," he hollered. I reached down and pretended to be scratching my ankle. What I was really doing was making sure the monkey socks were awake and ready to give me some extra luck. I took a deep breath, focused on Frankie's glove, wound up, and released the ball. How do you think he did? Do you think he shot it in there like he did before? Bam! It shot through the air like a cannon, whipping across the plate and landing dead center in Frankie's mitt. McKelty didn't say a word, but his big jaw flopped open like a barn door in the wind. Ashley smiled at him and waved. "Just a little sample of what you can expect tomorrow," she said. "Now, if you'll excuse me, we have to get our secret weapon home. We don't want to tire him out." We walked off the field, leaving McKelty there with his face still flapping in the breeze. Ugh. The minute we were off the field, we burst out laughing. "That was awesome, Zip," Frankie said. "Yeah. Too bad I won't be able to do it tomorrow in the real game," I said, suddenly realizing the awful truth. "What are you talking about?" Ashley said. "You can and you will." I shook my head. "Emily will never give me the monkey socks to wear tomorrow. She needs them for the brainbuster competition, and without them, I can't throw worth beans." "Well, tell Emily she has to let you wear the socks," said Ashley. "Yeah, but she needs them too," I answered. "Actually," Robert said, "your sister is the most brilliant third grader in the world. You don't need luck when you have brains like hers." Robert should know. He and Emily are really good friends in a nerdly kind of way. All the way home, I thought about what Robert had said. Emily didn't need the luck, but I sure did. The thought rolled around and around in my mind. What if she just couldn't find her lucky monkey socks tomorrow morning? Things get lost, don't they? It could happen. Should I or shouldn't I? Should I or shouldn't I? Should I or shouldn't I? What do you think Hank should do? I don't know. I think he should give them to his sister. When we got home, I went to my room and took off the white socks. Oh, were my toes happy to be released from the prison of 2 pairs of tight socks. I could hear Emily outside in the hall, frantically searching every closet in the house for her monkey socks. Should I or shouldn't I? Slowly, I peeled off the red monkey socks, tucked them underneath my Mets sweatshirt, and closed the drawer very quietly. I don't know. I have a feeling that Hank so desperately wants to prove that he can be a good pitcher that he's going to take his sister's monkey socks and not give them back. What are your thoughts? I'm not sure that's a very good idea. Well, we'll have to find out tomorrow. Hope you have a great day today, guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.